This week's Carolina Outdoor Magazine TV is brought to you in part by Camelback Hydration Systems. Do you have a camel on your back? And by Bolay Sportswear and Sunglasses. Also by Buckbuster Scents, scents for the serious hunter. And by Carolina Outdoor Hunting and Fishing Supply, hunting and fishing products at an affordable price. And also by the fine folks at the Triad Bait Company in Lexington, North Carolina.
Hey folks, want to keep up with the Carolina Outdoor Magazine TV team? It's an easy thing to do. Just like us on Facebook at Carolina Outdoor Magazine TV. And you'll be able to keep up with the behind-the-scenes clips, bloopers, news and videos, and a lot more. So what are you waiting for? Like us today. This portion of Carolina Outdoor Magazine TV is brought to you by Trophy Ridge Planer Boards, and also by the Triad Bait Company and Guide Service. Nope, watch it, Eddie.
I thought he was running with it.
Looked like it to me, didn't it?
Yeah, that's what it looked like to me.
Never felt him when I set the hook. Bunch of brim in here. I don't know. Okay.
There was a bite, wasn't it? Just take a look in here. There's a white spot in there.
Maybe just on. Yeah, I see. You mean on the floor of the lake? Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
Good.
Oh, come on, get one. Got it? All right. Didn't he? All I just felt him was swimming away with the line. Come on up here. All right. I don't like that. It's not bad. I think we can get it out of there. No, we'll cut the hook off. Come on, turn it loose. We don't want to kill this fish, guys. He's got that hook down there really good, so if you can't get it off, get it out of there without hurting the fish and making him bleed, you're better off just throwing him in. That hook will rust out. You know, and that way you're not going to lose the fish. He's not going to turn up floating, but there you go right there. I don't know if that's what you're looking for, Steve Sharon, or not, but you said catch you a big one, and that's the biggest one we've caught all day. But anyhow, we'll see if we can't get us a few more. We'll put him back in, and he'll be all right. That hook will rust out of there. There he goes. All right. Maybe we broke the dead streak here, and maybe now we'll start getting some fish, right?
I hope so. There's one right up there swimming around.
You're using a 4.5-inch lizard is what we're using, and we haven't caught that. Actually, that fish right there is the deepest fish. I was surprised to see him run with it because that fish was probably 5 or 6 feet. We've been cruising the shoreline looking for bedding fish, and Victor's been spotting a lot of them in there. And we had one pick up the bait back there, and I didn't set the hook fast enough, but this one here found what he wanted, so I'm going to get another bait on and we'll get baited back up and try it again. All right, Victor. On the fluke?
On the fluke.
On the fluke. Good show. Right, oh, nice match. Nice bass. Nice bass.
All right.
That bottle, I stepped on it. I thought it was breaking something. Oh, yes.
Not bad.
Now,
Little female.
long time coming, huh?
Yeah.
Gosh darn, man.
Took a while.
All right, way to go. Well, we were headed out of this cove and almost didn't think we were going to get anything. We did get bites in here. You caught them off the end of that tree over there, didn't you?
Yep, right off the end of that log there.
Great. Let's go get another one.
Shade because it's not, not much cloud cover today.
No, there's not.
They're going to hold a little tighter to that.
They're kind of looking for any kind of shade that they can find, I guess.
Yeah.
Hey, turtle. Hey there. Well, you're pretty brave. Ha! You're pretty brave. Look at that, Debbie. You can reach out and touch him. You're pretty brave. I gotta get my bait. Look at that turtle. Can you believe that?
Will he bite me?
You can grab him, Debbie.
Would he bite me?
No. It's not white. They could be thinking that it's shad they're chasing. Oh, there he is. There he is. Oh, yeah. Come on. It's on that. Whoa, Mr. Cameraman. Sorry about that. Another good one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Laid out.
What do you think about that there, Steve? Caught him on that. That's that 6-inch finesse worm, that catch 'em up bait. Yellow pepper is what that is. And Victor, he's using a fluke right now, but it just seems like all of a sudden we come into this cove and that's what, the third blow up we've had on these baits. And what we're doing, let me put this fish back in the water. And what we're doing is we're kind of rigging these. I've got mine like a floating worm, and I'm telling you, I was getting ready to change because Victor's already had 3 fish blow up on that fluke. And I'm just rigging that so it's like a floating worm. The only weight I have on there is that swivel. And it's the same thing with any of you guys that use flukes. You know how the action looks, and the worm looks the same way. Now, whether it's the action that's triggering these fish to bite or what, I don't know, but it just seems like here in this cove, like they've turned on. Oh, gosh, we've tried a different, we've tried shade, we've tried everything. We're back out in the sunlight now, and the fish are biting. So we're just going to try keeping doing what we're doing. I want to take just a few minutes, everybody, and talk to you a little bit about what kind of baits we were throwing today. We threw a variety of baits from the first time we got here until now, and I think there was only one bait that we really found at a certain time in the day that worked well. But I was throwing a jig for a while. Victor was throwing a jig. That's one of the jigs I was using right there. It's a half-ounce Anki head jig with a catch 'em up baits beaver bug on there. That's the yellow pepper, and I didn't have a single bite on it. Maybe I just didn't fish it long enough. Victor was throwing a jig also that he had, which is a darker color, and he's got a little bit smaller creature bait type thing on there. And did you have anything?
I don't think I had any bites at all.
I don't think they were on the jigs at all today, okay? We'll get to what they were on in just a minute. It seems like, what you got to understand about bass fishing, or really anything kind of fishing at all, is that what they're on today don't mean, or what they were on yesterday don't mean that's what they're going to be on today. So you just got to remember that, because if you come out and you throw something that you caught them on yesterday, you may not catch fish today.
Right.
And the only other thing I used was I used a lizard. Let me get it out here. I have a 4-inch lizard, which I was fishing here, and I have it kind of Carolina rigged with a stop on the weight. But I was using that 4-inch green pumpkin lizard right there, and I caught one fish on that earlier today, and I had a lot of bites though. Now don't get me wrong, there this morning we had a lot of hits, a lot of bites. They just weren't hitting it where you could get the hook stuck in them, but I did catch one fish on that lizard, and that was earlier this morning. What else did you throw? You threw a crankbait now and then, but you also threw that. We really started catching fish, Victor, when we started to switch to what I call a floating worm or a fluke presentation. Victor's got a fluke here. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that, Victor?
All right. Yeah, I was throwing a fluke today. I first started out, I guess I'll start out by saying why I started throwing it, because we saw a lot of fish up shallow today. Many fish up shallow, carp, bass, brim. We saw everything up shallow. Turtles, yeah, turtles
Everything.
Galore,
Yeah.
and carp galore. So this is one of the reasons I picked up the fluke, because it's just this bait this time of year is a good shallow water bait, especially when the sun gets up and the bluebird sky like today. And things are getting kind of slow right now. It's a little warmer. Water temperature is about 69 degrees, so the fish are a little sluggish since it's midday. So this is a little slower presentation for them.
Right.
It's not like a crankbait. It's not going to slow, it's a
Right.
little bit slower, so it gives them a little more time to react to it. I had several bites on it. I only actually caught one on this right today, but we had several bites on this.
You had several on that, and they also used a small topwater clear bait that he has, and he had a lot of hits on that, but you couldn't get the fish to take it down and get a hook set. It was like, we had some fish hitting that were knocking it out of the water a foot to 16 inches in the air, and just exploding on it, but they weren't taking it in. But once we found out what they were doing, I switched over also to a yellow pepper catch 'em up baits finesse worm. And one way I like to fish worms is without a weight, and I fish them kind of like a floating worm. And the reason I like that is we've got some video here that will show you how the action in the water is when you twitch the rod. And it's almost like a fluke. It has a very erratic action, and that erratic action will provoke strikes in a largemouth bass. So that's why I switched over to this bait here, and I ended up, I think, catching 2 fish on this bait, and it worked pretty good. The way I've got that bait rigged up, basically, when I say a floating worm, it has no weight. The only weight it has is the weight of the hook, and you hook it up just like you would a regular bait. And the only other thing I did today, because I was kind of lazy, is I left my swivel on here. So that added to the weight a little bit, just because I didn't want to keep tying on baits today with a lot going on. But when I switched to that, and Victor switched to his fluke, was when we started getting hits there for about an hour or so, and started to get a lot of bites on fish, and we boated what fish you did see us catch today. It was a hard day. We, like Victor said, a cold front came through last night. It's not a completely bluebird sky, but it might just as well be. And here's something else that we can't explain. On, I guess, the east side of the lake, we're on Randleman Lake here, and on the east side of the lake, it's like the fish activity and the turtle activity was really low. We didn't see many carp, we didn't see hardly any largemouth. We did this morning, but as the day went on, over here on the west side of the lake, which is a little bit deeper water, we started to see a lot more fish activity, and this is where we caught the bulk of our fish over here. So for whatever reason, we ended the day off here with 3 fish, 4 fish, something like that, and we had a good day, and and we really learned a lot today about what to throw and what not to throw when they're not active. So I guess it's getting late, and we got about a 2-hour ride back to the house, and Victor's got some stuff to do tonight, so I guess we'll go ahead and, while we're doing this little demo here, we'll just end the show. Victor, I want to thank you for having us on the boat again.
Thank you.
It's been great. Watch Victor here throughout our shows. Watch him on YouTube and on Facebook. And Victor's on our pro staff team. He's really knowledgeable when it comes to bass fishing, and I learn a lot from him every time I'm out. How does somebody get a hold of you, Victor, if they want to get a hold of you, like on Facebook or
just Facebook, Victor Bradley Lynch, or
okay.
Instagram,
we'll put his links up here at the bottom, so you can, if you want to get hold of Victor and you might have a question about bass fishing, you can go ahead and do that. But listen, guys, we didn't get a lot of fish today. That's the way it goes, I know. But anyways, it's just the way it was. It's just, we might come here in another couple days and slay him. You just don't know. But thanks for tuning in to today's show, everybody. We really appreciate you watching. I'm Jim from Carolina Outdoor Magazine TV. We'll catch you sometime, somewhere next week in the great outdoors when we do it all again. Thanks for tuning in.